TCNA and its member companies have developed 3 of these, one on tile, one on mortar, and one on grout. For these EPDs, we are assuming an estimated building service life of 75 years, and we're using a cradle-to-grave evaluation. We have to use a cradle-to-grave evaluation because that's what the product category rules require us to do, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So how is an EPD developed? Well, the PCRs, the product category rules, set the basis for measuring the attributes. So in terms of standardization, we have to be comparing cradle-to-grave with other cradle-to-grave. Or if we're using cradle-to-gate, we have to be comparing a cradle-to-gate EPD with another cradle-to-gate EPD, because you can't compare a cradle-to-gate with a cradle-to-grave. You can, but your conclusions would be far misled. So a manufacturer works with or without a consultant to develop an LCA to serve as the framework for the EPD. We're talking about how an EPD is produced here. And then that information is verified by an independent third party to make sure it meets standards. So what are these product category rules? A product category rule is a set of guidelines that informs the LCA. And then the PCR, which informs the LCA, together they both inform the Environmental Product Declaration, which is the document that you will use to be incentivized, if that's the right word, for your green rating systems. So we have to understand a little bit about PCRs. How are they developed? They are developed by a program operator. In this case, it's a UL Environment is the program operator for all building-related products and services in North America. So UL Environment, it runs the product category rules, and I'm going to show you a snapshot of those in a minute. And then they tell you which LCA you have to use, and there's a verification process, and this is the infrastructure on how the PCR dictates the EPD, factoring in the LCA. A lot of alphabet soup, I know, but it's important to understand because the standardization is what makes these programs valid. So the product category rules consist of 2 parts. There's part A, which is a general calculation rules and report requirements. That's for all building related products and services. And then within the scope of tile, there's part B, there's flooring EPD requirements. And that gets a little bit more specific in the requirements. For example, what type of LCA do we need? So as Mark talked about earlier, we have cradle-to-gate with options, and we have cradle-to-grave, which requires an analysis within production, the production stage of the materials, the construction phase, and the use phase. So remember, these buildings are in place for 75 years. Does the material have a 75-year life cycle? In the case of tile, the answer is yes. For example, in the case of vinyl tile or LVT, the answer is no. You're not going to get 75 years service life out of LVT or out of wood or out of laminate or out of carpet. So that's why we have to do these analyses consistently depending on what type of products. So along those lines, part B is the flooring EPD requirements straight out of the product category rules. These product category rules are overseen by UL Environment, but they were developed with input from the resilient people, the carpet people, the tile people, the wood people, and the laminate people. Okay, so we did not develop these in a vacuum. These product category rules in no way favor one material over another, but on the contrary, they kind of level the playing field. So these are the specification sections where these product category rules apply. And this may be the most important bit of information that you can take with you, or at least it's up there. The system boundary for EPDs created using this product category rule, in other words, flooring, is cradle to grave. Okay, so flooring manufacturers, if they want to be transparent, they're going to give you a cradle to grave assessment of the carbon footprint of their materials as measured in global warming potential. In other words, as measured in kilograms of carbon dioxide per square meter. That's the functional unit. So again, cradle to grave requires an analysis of not only the product stage and the construction stage, but the 75 years and the end of life. Okay.